Good evening. Well, we're arriving at the last minute because Gung Ho arrived at the last minute and they both lagged off. Mooncake has won the lag. This is the match that has been reset, and I'll just reset the cloth. It was reset. Where the hell are we? I'm the wrong bloody thing. Miscellaneous. That's what I want. Mooncake ended up getting forfeited. From what we understand, Gung Ho accepted his proposal, but 3 days after he had sent it, and 40 minutes before the match was due to actually start, which didn't give Mooncake enough time to react to it because he may well not have been at home at the time. So anyway, the match was reset, and this is where we are. This is the first match of the evening, and we're of course still in first round matches here in the Virtual 9-Ball World Championship. Race to 19. Now this match leads us up to the top of the next hour. We've started at just gone 7 o'clock, 7 PM British Summer Time, but at 8 PM, in just under an hour's time, we've got the biggest match of the first round ties, which has been set, and that's between Spectre Dawn and Tony Sam. So the important thing is that both of them turn up before 8 o'clock, or we won't have the main match of the night. But in the meantime, we'll cover this one until such times come around, and then we'll see what happens. It's going to finish top side of the 5. Well, this is a bit of a tester, this one. And that corner pocket is pretty tight for that 6 ball. Right, Gung Ho's not going to get much of an option here unless he can dig out a billiard onto that 7 ball. Well, he's tried the bank there and clipped the 7, but it's still up. Good evening, welcome to Albinario, welcome to Bedhead. You ever noticed that whenever a player's playing with a house cue, it seems to the graphic quality of it looks poor from this distance. If you look at the next time Gung Ho gets a shot, look at how hatched the house cue looks. Every other cue looks fine, but the graphic quality of the house cue looks, there's something weird going on. Welcome to Mark, welcome to Popman. I'm just hoping we've got a match at 8 o'clock. I hope Tony Sam can get away from the mirror and get himself into the VP4 lobby, because I think he fancies himself, so he does. I'm looking at the photographs on his Facebook page there. He definitely thinks he's God's gift. And good evening to Cobra. Well, after all of those pleas last night about people who are watching this on Twitch and asking them to just subscribe to my YouTube channel, the only one that did it was Cheeky Chico. I've only got one out of all of that. Who was it that told me, or did I find this accidentally by some reason? I don't know, but in case you don't know, there's a video on YouTube with Tony Sam on Mr. and Mrs. I've seen a clip of it years ago, and that was when, of course, only Mark will know. Mark, maybe Popman will know. I don't know, depends what age group you're in, but I know Mark will know. Derek Beatty used to present Mr. and Mrs. and Tony Sam was on it. There is video footage somewhere. So, Mooncake is off the mark. First rack on the board. Well, that... yeah, I think from Gung Ho's rating... I mean, the one way to look at it, Mooncake has a good chance to get his stats in a reasonably good shape as far as the rack's run's concerned. Stubb managed to get himself joint second place last night. He managed to get 7, but still 2 behind Larry. And what I was thinking about with that top 10 thing, somebody on the loser's side may well win this because they're going to play more matches. And that's one thing that just dawned on me there when I was looking at the list, looking at the stats with the top 10. Somebody on the loser's side of this tournament may well win this because they're going to play more matches, so they're obviously going to have the best opportunity of tallying up the most racks run. Well, Mooncake's made the mistake. It's all a question of how long we're going to wait until Gung Ho gets himself off the mark. I've never seen that video. I've just read that bit in the chat there, Albie. I've never seen that video with Efren Reyes with a VP4 t-shirt on. And I'm still waiting in mine. I've still got 2 VP3 t-shirts in my wardrobe. Never been washed, they've never been on. And the other thing is, it'd never fit me either. Well, here is your gift of the day, Gung Ho. Get a look at that 9 to see how it cuts, and don't scratch in the top corner pocket. And, well, that might be the best chance you'll ever get tonight. It wasn't easy though. Well, how come you got one, Albie, and none of us got one? Answer me that one. Well, Gung Ho's fell into the trap there with a scratch. And Mooncake now scratching in the middle pocket. You can't remember how you managed to get one. Well, you didn't go out to a store and buy one. And what did you do to deserve to get one that none of us managed to deserve to get one? That's what I'd like to know. Well, I think, what match was it we were watching last night when it was 5-0 before before the duck was finally broken. I've forgotten. Steve sent it because he likes you. Or maybe he wanted to see how the American postal system worked. He's probably never sent anything by airmail in his life. Realised how expensive it was and then decided, well, that's it, that's the only t-shirt I'm sending. Well, this cue ball will go over across to the 8 ball. And we've got matches for tomorrow. There's at least, I think, 3 matches on tomorrow, 2 of which I think clash. We'll have a look at that at some point, just to remind ourselves. But for any latecomers, this match was meant to be the warm-up until 8 o'clock, when we will be switching over to the Spectre Dawn Tony Sam match, all provided Tony Sam turns up. And that's never 100% guaranteed. Oh, was that like, how many, did he draw like 2 or 3 out the hat supposedly, and runners up and stuff like that got t-shirts? Well, for anybody who doesn't know, and not everybody was here last night, and not all of you will have watched the stream, Stubb went to Shooter's Pool and duly got himself banned for telling everybody to go to Virtual Pool 4. I think they banned him for 2 days according to what he said, or what was said. And somebody's bound to rattle his cage and he will appear. So Mooncake may well be having a fairly easy time of it. Any damage is more than likely going to be self-inflicted damage in this match. But like I say, he's got a focus, he's got an incentive to play for, and good opportunities to run up those racks run. I think he's dead straight. Yeah, so bottom and left hand spin will get the cue ball kicking off the rail and going that way. And that will do. So it's 4-0 and the cue ball has gone, and 1 ball over the pocket, 2 over the bottom left, and the 3 hidden away. Now this is where you have to take a risk here. You have to smack into that 3 to bring it into play, and hopefully you still have a shot in the 2, because you're not going to get on the 3 from this position. Now trying to get over and run into the 8 ball, run into this 7, that's not helped him. Easy kick in the 3. Might as well give it a full amp. Well, at least I would have done that. I would have just blasted it. Blasted it to hell. That's going to go again. So this time, Mooncake should be out. Well, that tournament last night. That was a $300 one, wasn't it? Good evening. Welcome to anybody who's turned up late. It's a little testy one, nailed to the rail. And it goes. Another one has come up dry. So it looks very likely that Gung Ho's only going to get a rack by doing this and maybe fluking the 9. But certainly where the 9 is at the moment, Mooncake has to be careful that he doesn't leave any sort of shot going anywhere near that direction to where the 9 ball is. Again, this is just what match was that last night? I'm trying to remember. The player that Stubb was playing. Who was Stubb playing last night? I've totally forgotten. Because there was such a gulf in the difference between the two players. This is exactly the same. Quagmire, that's right. And you know, Quagmire and Gung Ho are pretty much out the same box because they are playing at a level where they want their object is to pot the ball, and if that cue ball gets somewhere near the next ball, to pot that one. But in terms of processing information and moving the cue ball and stuff, that's way down the list of priorities. So well, only in a rating sense he might be slightly better, but in terms of what they're doing, well, Quagmire's doing better because at this stage he had a rack in the board. But the longer the match goes on and the longer that Gung Ho hasn't got a rack, you just wonder whether he's going to apply himself at any time and actually do a bit of thinking. And again, not knowing what sort of age group we're talking about, you know, you can't. It's difficult to make a judgment. You can only go on the evidence of what you're seeing in front of you. So Mooncake's come up dry. Gung Ho looking to push out. The obvious thing with this is whether he's going to get put back in. Now, what was the result last night? Stubb won 19-4 or something like that. Was that not it? Let's have a look. What the hell was the score in the match? Or was it 19-2? Yeah, so Well, if Gung Ho comes out of this with more than 2 racks, then he's a better player than Quagmire then. No matter what you guys say. But Mooncake's certainly not at the moment, and he's not doing much towards his racks run tally. Yeah, that will be the quickest match of the tournament. Because even if you've got 2 guys in it who can pop balls, it's still not going to be as quick as that. There'll be a lot more strategy involved with two competent players playing one another than a match where there's such a big difference in class. Now, well, when we were talking about it there, Stub won in 45 minutes. This match is 22 minutes old, and it's 6-0, so 3 6s are 18. So if you went with the same time, or the same amount of time that it took to get those 6 racks, and here's a gift for Gung Ho. Oh dear, that is, well, there are no words to describe that. Absolutely none for that shot. Other than utterly pathetic. To be able to, again, that sounds pretty harsh, because this person that's playing, they might physically not be great with a mouse. That could be another reason, and this is why it sounds so bad to make that type of judgment. But that was an awful shot, trying to get the combo in that 9 and get nowhere near it from within a foot. And if you can't do that, you're never going to get a rack. That's why I feared for Quagmire last night. He ended up getting a gift to start with, I think, when he was 5-0 down. But at least he managed to get the 9 ball in the hole eventually. Well, if balls start going in the break and Mooncake gets a shot in the 1 like this, they can get these racks going through quite quickly. First problem here is finding a way to get up to the 2 without running into something. You know, running into the 6. 3 ball goes past the 5, no problem there, but now that's a bit of a lottery with the way that this angle is in the 2. You've got to try and get between that the 3 and the 4 down the right side, down to the bottom rail and back up the left side to have a shot. Well, he had the general idea there, but not only missing the pot, but hit it too hard, I think. And this is what happens as well when you know that you're getting very little or anything coming back at you. You tend to get lazy, because you know you just have to bide your time. You're going to get a proper turn to actually win the rack, and you tend to then get just lazy and careless and sloppy. The well-known solicitors. Cue ball. Well, he should be really just skimming off this and coming over towards the 6. Or just getting distance, whatever it is. Just let Gung Ho do their thing. I think he can, I don't know whether he can see it, mind you, but no, he can't. He's going to have to jump. It's a bit sort of touch and go as to whether he'll hit the point. I think he will. No, he won't. So Gung Ho again with ball in hand. I mean, we all know what you need to do to get on the 6. Once again, it's not that. So everything that he's leaving's difficult. And maybe have a blast at the double bank here with this 7 ball. Going all out for the pot. Almost got it, but too much pace and no shot in the 9. So these racks are taking too long for this match to end up being quicker than Stubbs. There's too much. There's too many misses going on, and Mooncake's not being clinical enough to tidy these racks up quickly. So he's certainly not going to break any records. The only record he could break is getting it to 0. Well, it's unlikely to be a whitewash for the simple reason that at some point Mooncake's going to leave a 9 ball hanging, and it's going to be the only ball left on the table, and Gung Ho basically can't miss it. You know, that the odds of that happening, it's likely to happen on a certain pot in a 9 ball. It's going to end up just sitting there waiting to be knocked in. That's the one way that Gung Ho will get a rack. He's certainly not going to get a rack on his own efforts and ability, because that's fairly non-existent. This is another little tester though for Mooncake. Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. Well, which is why last night I thought Stubb might he might tie with Larry at the top of that racks run, but you know, Stubb was blasting at everything, and he was missing. Had he been more clinical, he could have probably got to the top of that list last night. Mooncake's certainly not going to do that. I don't think he's going to trouble it very much at all, because in these first 8 racks we've not seen a great level of consistency, other than tidying up the rack each time he gets a chance. But that's not running racks though, which he needs to get. He needs to find that consistency, not just for this match, but for his prospects in the rest of the tournament. So this is why I keep saying that it doesn't matter what the score is, who you're playing, and if your odds on certainty to win, you have to give it 100%. And lo and behold, there's the 1-9 combo, and Gung Ho finally is off the mark. No, it's not racks in a row 1. I explained all of that in the video, or in the first stream that I did, Potman. I explained it all, because in the stats there is a racks run. Now I can't remember what it's called. It's I'll find it in a second. If you go to the 9-ball stats, there's a racks high run. Now the racks high run is breaking and running in a row, and in that position, Larry is in the lead there. He broke and ran 3 racks in a row in his match, and out of the whole match, he had 9 racks where he came to the table and ran out, and the rest of those guys there. Wait a minute to adjust that. That's better. Yeah, so that one there's racks high run in a row. This is the one. It's the count of the amount of racks that you run in the whole event that we're talking about here. Here's the bracket thing. There it is. Well, that's what I was saying, Bedhead, is I think it'll be someone from the one loss side that may well win it, because they're going to play more matches, and obviously you'd think it was somebody who might be on the end of a loss quite early in the tournament that ends up over there. Aye, it's runouts after the break. You know, obviously runouts from racks high run are actually from your break, but runouts are you coming to the table, you know, say after I would assume it now. That's the other thing. It could be does a rack run include balls that were potted on the break by your opponent, yet they don't have a shot, so they play a push out and you come to the table and you run the table? That's the other question. I don't know whether it is or it isn't. And I daren't ask Steve for an explanation, because I'm pretty certain he won't know either. So 10-1 to Mooncake. We are 34.5 minutes into the match. A quick blast on the combo, and already Gung Ho has tied Quagmire's 2 racks achievement from last night. Well, I think you were getting excited there, Popman. Well, one thing's for certain, you've got the longest arms in VP4. Nobody can beat you in that score. Check the stat. What am I looking for in the stats? Where's the thing? What am I looking for? Money balls made. What's that one there? Because I can't see it. Is that money ball percentage? Well, if we go from the bottom upwards, because it's easiest to read from there. Well, there you're down there in 90. You're in 94%, and there's a whole stack of other people above you. You know, Stubbs had 15 shots at money balls, and he's potted them all. Slim has had 19 and he's potted them all. Yeah, I think you misunderstood what those 100% meant. What it means is they're all better than you. Meanwhile, I stand by my statement that if Gung Ho gets any more than 2 racks, he's a better player than Quagmire. Because he's done it in a better way than than what Quagmire did, because Gung Ho's had 2 combos in the 9. There's the proof if ever you needed it. Well, we're just waiting to see if both of these players come online. I'm expecting Spectre Dawn to be online. I just have my doubts as to whether Tony Sam will turn up. He could be lying under a sunbed somewhere. He could have a face pack on. You know, he could be getting his bikini line trimmed. I don't know what he could be doing, but it may well stall his memory from remembering he's got a match on tonight. Now, the other night there I was talking about, what was that game I was talking about? Keith was on, and what the hell was I talking about? What was the game called again? Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I had downloaded it and I was trying it out and comparing it to the Assassin's Creed one that I had, which was in Egypt. And Keith was asking if I'd reached England yet, and no, I hadn't. So I went on to it today. I spent a couple of hours on it today. In fact, immediately I finished the next mission. They then started talking about going to England. So I'm now arrived in England, and I'm basically pillaging about 4 villages to gather equipment and stuff to allow me to build my camp. So that's where I've got to now. I haven't done any raping yet. I'm looking forward to any raping. I just don't want to do pillaging all the time. I only tried the game out because there was a mention of nudity in it, in the settings. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, yes, we're in for some entertainment here, and I haven't seen any. I've not seen anything yet. Not even a bare arse have I seen in this game yet. Right, well, Gung Ho has gone. I've never even checked. Where's Gung Ho from? Is he from out of town, as they say? Yeah, no, I mean, if you're a Viking, first of all, it's set in the Viking era. It's a bit like Grand Theft Auto. You've got to have prostitutes in Grand Theft Auto. That's the only reason I got Grand Theft Auto, so I could go curb crawling. And in this game here, if it's got Vikings in it, I want raping and pillaging in it, and plenty of it. Right, Gung Ho is back. Now let me find out where he's from. Oh, he's from the UK. Yes, he's on. Yes, I've got him on Facebook, but I mean, Tony Sam updates Facebook like once every 6 years. That's how often he's on Facebook. Oh, I could really go off on one huge rant about BT. I'm still waiting on my upgrade. I've got the new BT hub. Thingy, whatever it's called, it's installed and working. But you know, I've been waiting since February, early February, when I was told they were coming in, and they didn't turn up that day, and I phoned and found out he wasn't coming. And then basically it's been rebooked for, I think, May the 5th. And wait to hear the best of it. I came home from work the other day. I had a message on the answering machine. and it was a guy, I think his name was Oliver, from OpenReach, which are the company that do the installations for BT. They deal with all the fibre stuff, fibre installation. And he phoned me, and his message said, now wait to hear this. This is, the punchline is hilarious. He phones up and he says, it's Oliver here. I think it was Oliver his name was, and he says, I'm just dealing with your the problem you've had getting the engineer out. And he said, can you give me a ring back to see if we can get this brought forward for you? And I thought, oh great. So I looked. So the number obviously is on my caller display, and that was the number he told me to phone him back on. So I rings it back, and all I got was a message from BT saying, we tried to call you. If we need to call you again, we'll get a hold of you. There's no need for you to call us. And then boot, and then the line goes dead. Now what a load of crap that was. Phone me back to let me know so we can sort out a time, and then the number he's given me is no bloody use. So I'm just leaving it at that. As long as I've got my internet, I don't care. All I'm getting is a bit faster speed. Yeah, you've got 10 minutes to get into the room. Once that room goes up, the clock starts ticking, and once it expires, if your opponent is in the room, then they're automatically put through. If none of you turn up, and the room goes up, then it's a toss of a coin as to what one gets forfeited and sent to the one lost side. So, where are we in the scores here? It's 12-3 to Mooncake. It's now, what did I say, 3? My eyes have gone, it's still 2. Let's have, where's that tab? Is Spectre Dawn on practicing? I haven't seen him. Oh, aye, there he is. No, I can't control tab mark. The reason for that is that that brings up my on-screen thing for XSplit Gamecaster. That's the default setting for it. So if ever I use Control Tab in VP4, it means that I can do this with the chat and put it over there. You know, so Control and Tab is for that functionality. I have to just go in and do it manually. Well, the bad news for Mooncake is that Stubbs' fast finish last night, it will stand as the fastest match in the tournament, because Mooncake's now gone beyond that, and he's still 6 racks short. So Mooncake's goal now is to finish the match without losing any more racks. And well, let's see what Gung Ho can do. All my money on Gung Ho to take this out to get the 3rd rack in the board. Well, there's your Save Zoom one, the one that I posted up on YouTube. That allows you to zoom in to a certain setting in Virtual Pool 4, save it, and then at any point during the game, if you've zoomed out or you want to reset your zoom back to what you saved it at, you can do that. I don't know whether there's a straight pool tournament on or not. We'll have a look at the calendar. That's going to scratch, is it? No, he's okay. Let's have a look at the calendar. Yep, straight pool at the top of the hour. It's handicapped. What'll be race to 50 or something, is it? Race to 50, handicap limits 10 or something like that. And there seems to be one person in it. Sergresh is in it. I mean, this rack here, from this position here, Mooncake should be running out. I just overhit that a bit, get too much into it. Now he's got to just pot this dead weight to keep the cue ball from escaping. And now do everything but hit the 9 ball. That's the order of the day here. So we're 10 minutes away from the main event of the evening. And 10 minutes away, wondering whether everybody's going to be here by 8 o'clock. So Mooncake is 4 away. Break is dry. One ball goes in off the 7, and he's going to be hooked on the 2. Well, chance for Mooncake to play a billiard on at the 9 here, possibly. Oh, I mean, I don't know why he's not going for it. I'd just go for the billiard, save a bit of time. That billiard was always on there in the 9 ball. Well, I told you guys my hair hasn't been as long as this since 1997, I think. And come April the 7th, I am getting skinned. I'm going from the longest I've had my hair in 30 years to the shortest I've ever had it. I'm normally number 1 all over, but I'm going to get it skinned just for the hell of it. Definitely. And that way it gives me an excuse to wear a hat. I'll show you no problem, because I can guarantee I'm going to get it skinned. I'm going to go in at 9 o'clock on Wednesday the 7th of April, and by 5 minutes past 9 I'm going to be walking out the door. Yeah, what about the hair in my head? What sort of hair did you think I was talking about? Well, I'm not naturally curly. But, you know, I can just imagine now that finally Neil Robertson has got an image. He's been in the game for what? How long now? 10, 15 years. And he's finally found an image. He doesn't realise it yet, but I can tell you that as long as he keeps his hair like that, you watch the World Championships once people get into the venue, you'll get the three guys sitting in the front row with the big blonde curly wigs on and t-shirts on with Neil Robertson written on it. He'll have a fan club finally, because now he's got an image that people can follow, and they'll have great big afro blonde wigs on. It just makes you think, though. He obviously must sit himself in front of a mirror for goodness knows how long every day to straighten his hair. I mean, good God. That's why if you don't like having curly hair and you go to the bother of having a hair straightener, then what the hell's the bother of doing that? Just get it stripped off, get it down to the wood, and then you don't have any problems. The first thing you don't need to worry about is combing it. Get it scalped. That's exactly what I'm going for, a scalping. And I'll feel all the better for it, I can assure you. Now, the only thing is then, I'll be then in two minds whether I'm going to have to shave, because I haven't shaved for weeks. Well, I don't shave anyway, I just trim it. I haven't shaved for a good number of years. I just use the beard trimmer when it begins to annoy me. The other problem I've found is that if you have a beard and you're wearing a face mask, then the face mask will go everywhere but over your nose and your mouth. You know, no sooner have you put it on your nose and your mouth that it slides all around your face because of your beard. I found that a face mask adheres to your face better if you've got 2 days stubble. It will grip better. So Mooncake is now 2 away. We are 5 minutes away from the start of the proposed second match of tonight, and no sign of Tony Sam yet. Well, the longer I grow this beard, the more I look like Uncle Albert out of Only Fools and Horses. Well, at least Mooncake will have the honour of having the second fastest match in the tournament. But it's going to be an hour. Unless he can clear the table now and get a 9-ball in the break in the next rack. Four minutes to go. Well, that could have been 45 minutes, Larry. You're getting slow in your old age. You know, 20 years ago, you'd have been a lot faster than that. It's that mouse that does it. Right, well, I think what we'll do is once this is finished, I'll probably be wasting time, but if Tony Sam still isn't here, I'm going to go and see if he's got notifications on Facebook, whether he's got something like that going to his mobile and see if we can get a message to him and find out what he's doing. But I would not expect a reply. Well, we're now, what, about 58 minutes into this match. We've got the 6, 9 and 8 locked up, which looks as if it's going to prolong the ending here for Mooncake. Well, if let's put it this way, let's put it another way. If we're using the pool world, if Larry was looking for a nickname, it wouldn't be Fast Larry. I don't know about Minnesota Fats Larry, but not Fast Larry. Oh dear. That was almost Mooncake burying a hole for himself there. He wasn't under that name. I told you he's somebody in disguise. That's why, and he denied he was somebody in disguise. There was never a hairpig in VP3. That's why he's somebody else under a different pseudonym. Well, Mooncake having a blast at the 8, trying to get across the table twice to the 9. Oh well, in that case, then you're still a wet behind the ears VP player. Oh, the forums. Well, the forum's dead and buried. Nobody uses it. Well, it's another rack to Gung Ho, and the commentator was right again. Gung Ho's the better player between him and what was the other guy's name again? Quagmire. Because Gung Ho has got 3 racks on the board. Quagmire only get 2. Well, that's 8 o'clock now, so it is. And that room may well be just going up for Spectre Dawn and Tony Sam, which would have been handy if this match had finished a wee bit quicker. It's just prolonging the inevitable. What, you mean you downloaded it and never paid for it? Are you playing with a crack version? Well, BP4 was in the sale on Steam. Was it yesterday or was it the day before? But not the best place to get it, it turns out, at the end of the day. Well, the quicker this thing is done, the quicker I can tab out and see if I can get a hold of him and find out what's happening. Right. Well, if only Mooncake can take his time and pot this, hold for the 7 and get this done. Nope. Is it? It's there. He's just managed to hold for it. Well, is it all out for the pot or the bank? For this to take Mooncake through to round 2. Finally. And in it goes. And Mooncake wins comfortably by 19 racks to 3. Right, I'm going to tab out for a minute, guys. Just hang on. Right, well, he's basically more or less inactive on Twitch, not on Twitch, on Facebook. So all I've been able to do is just send a message on his profile page. The likelihood of him seeing it's fairly slim. So, yeah, 5 minutes is gone. It's not looking good, guys. And then again, I always had my doubts. Well, Mooncake, what took you so long? Well, I don't even see him on my list of active people on Facebook. I've gone up and down that list. He's not even on it. But and I've not had a little ping noise to let me know that he's seen what I've written. I'll have another look. Right, I've messaged him, and I'm looking to see if I get any acknowledgement whatsoever. Well, he's been sent a PM, but I don't hear any tone at all. So that looks like it's, well, he's got 3 minutes to get in, or it's all over for the night. And we'll see you again tomorrow night, because we've got some matches on tomorrow night. And we'll have a look at the bracket. And we'll also have a look at the stats to see that, we haven't checked, but I don't think Mooncake may well have affected the top 10 list. We'll soon find out. Let's have another. I'm just going to tab out again. No signs of life whatsoever. So while we're waiting for that match tightening out, let's just go back to the stats page and see how Mooncake done in the racks run. Let's have a look. And well, I'm looking hard. I'm looking very hard. And there's Mooncake there, not even threatening the top 10. That was awful. An awful performance to just do 2. And that's the best chance you're probably going to have to actually shoot up that leaderboard. Anyway, in about 30 seconds that room is going to go down and Spectre Dawn will go through, and Tony Sam will have to work on the one loss side if he ever does realise he's in the tournament. He obviously had enough sense to accept the proposal, or he proposed to Spectre Dawn. I would suggest it's probably the other way around, but it's going to go in about the next 10-15 seconds. We'll have a timeout and then it'll be good night. Oh aye, but before we go, we're going to have another little rundown on the bracket so that we all know what's happening tomorrow. That's got to be it now. Right, you away, Mark. See you later. Good night. Thanks for watching. Well, there we go. And Spectre Dawn is through. I'll go back to Facebook for a sec. Absolutely no sign of any life whatsoever. So I did my best to get a hold of him. Right, let's have a look at what were we going to have a look at the bracket. And tomorrow is the 1st of April. And as we go down, that will be Saturday afternoon then, April the 2nd, is that right? Or am I getting that wrong? Tomorrow's Thursday, which is the 1st. Friday is the 2nd. So at 5 PM on Friday afternoon, we've got MC McClarkey against Sky Bitter. But before that, as we go further down, we've got another one on Friday night. That's at 8:15. That's Cobra and Wanwa. Now the problem there is, because Tin is such an umpty and sat scratching his arse for a week when he should have changed Friday night 9-ball last week when he was told, when he was asked, that clashes with Friday night 9-ball. But I wasn't going to do it anyway, because I'm not doing them when they start at 8 o'clock. It runs far too late, and it's pointless starting it and not going all the way. But Cobra is due to play Wanwa at 8:15. Now 9:15 is obviously an hour, and that's right on my bedtime. So Cobra's going to have to be quick to get that match done. He's going to have to be on stub speed. So I can get to my bed soon enough. And then further down, so these are matches that are in the next couple of days, but as we go down, in fact there's another one, there's Sergeresh against Shaft Tracks, and that also clashes with the one that's an hour before the one above, whatever one that was again I've forgotten who that was. But so we've got two matches late afternoon on Friday. I'll be at home at that time, and then tomorrow night at 7 PM we've got Zwiley aka Sylvia set to play Miasma. That's tomorrow night at 7. I think that clashes. And tomorrow night at 8 o'clock British Summertime we've got Shooters Pool Pro against Biggs, and then the two matches that clash are Eloquente and Super Noob at 7 o'clock that clashes with Zwiley and Miasma, and that is it. So, and that's the other point with that. That's a very good point that made there by Cobra. It does ruin specs getting the racks run, but that can't be helped. And Tony Sam nowhere to be seen. So I'll be back tomorrow night, folks, for those matches. We'll have to jump backward between one or two of them just to keep an eye on them. So until then, thanks for your company, as short though it was, and we will see you again tomorrow or some other day. And remember, if you are a subscriber on Twitch, please go and subscribe on YouTube. You don't have to watch on YouTube because you subscribe, but just go and do it, please. And I'll see you later. Take care.